Mr. Dumebi Kachiko, and is saying that the arrangement being made by Mr. Raf Nwosu is illegal and he cannot stand because you can't build something on nothing. He said they cannot come into the party through the back door, and has challenged the position of some of those who have come into the ADC of what they have done in their recent history as leaders of this country. Well, let me allow you to listen to Mr. Dumebi Kachiko, who is live for us here in Abuja studio. Many thanks for joining us tonight, Mr. Kachiko.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
They are calling you enemy of progress because this platform they raised, they said, is a new platform to rescue Nigeria. And you're suddenly coming up to attacking it. Are you an enemy of Nigeria as they proclaim you to be today?
Sean, they are enemies of Nigeria. They are enemies of progress. Nigerians can no longer be fooled. Nigerians from all walks of life will watch the videos. I just saw the clip today. And in that hall, what you saw were former this, former that, former this, former that, former this, a former vice president, former governors, former ministers, all former this, former that, and all taking Nigeria to former glory. They never take Nigeria forward. The same people who have ruled Nigeria for the last 4 decades, where are we as a country? A nation where 80% of our population are poor. The same people who burnt our country, brought our country to its knees, are the same people who claim their fire brigade trying to put out the fire. Shame, the population of Nigeria, 70% of our population are youths. Where are the youths in that gathering you saw? A bunch of geriatrics. 70% of them are above 75 years old. And you think that these people are trying to rescue Nigeria? Shame, they are political jobbers, political office holders who have no business. What they do from 9 to 5 is sit in their houses, complain about government just for political positions. That's all they do.
Are you an APC member?
Shehu, I'm not an APC. I am.
It sounds like you're talking for the APC.
I am speaking on behalf of ADC, on behalf of Nigerians, on behalf of the masses who are tired of these old people. Shehu, who are tired. I weep for Nigeria. I weep for my generation who lost all opportunity for leadership because we're not trusted, we're not entrusted with anything. The same people who I watched as a child, I heard their name on TV, read them in the news, are the same people who are ruling us, who still want to rule us. You believe that having Asiwaju as president of Nigeria today, and anybody want to take over from Asiwaju today, it should be still a bunch of old people who destroyed our country? They have nothing to offer, Shemu. We're living in a new age, in a new world. These guys have nothing. They can't even understand the language their kids speak. 70% of the population are under 30 years old, Shemu. And you think it's this bunch of old people who have something to offer them? You think that the myriad issues we face as a people will be solved by these people? When they held office, what did they do? What did they do to solve our problem that they want to solve today? I saw a lot of those people there were former ministers in the last administration, 8 years of President Buhari. Where did Buhari take this country to? 8 years ago, 8 years they were ruling this country. And today they come and say they are trying to salvage this country, save this country from what? From themselves and from their past misdeeds. Let's get real. I weep for Nigeria. I weep for the use of this country. And the worst thing is that a lot of our population, they are so cynical. They no longer believe in themselves. For anybody to think that these people have what it takes to take Nigeria forward, I weep for Nigeria. It's a shame.
Why are you angry? Because on one hand, you say they did not do the right thing by coming in the manner in which they came into your party. On the other hand, you are angry on the kind of people. Is it the kind of people that they are, or the manner in which they are taking over? What is your grievance?
Good
right
question. It's all related, Shemo. The manner in which they came through the back door shows you who they are. They are backdoor people.
They came through the back door?
They came in through the back door.
There was an handover by Mr. Rafonso.
Shemu, I've been here several times on the issue of Rafonso. Rafonso tenure lapsed on the 21st of August 2022. Since then, we have approached INEC several times. Several letters written trying to have a special convention so we can move our party forward. INEC has not done the needful. In the last few months, there was alternative dispute resolution where they said, saying, try and resolve the issues within the party so that this party can move forward. Unbeknownst to the state chairman of the party, did not understand that they were trying to get their signature so that they could sell the party. The state chairman here in town now protesting. You saw the former PRO of the party. You are seeing state women leaders, state secretaries, youth leaders across the party who all they are seeing is in the news today. They never knew that this was going on within the party. And then you see Rafosu coming to say that everybody, all structures across the country have resigned. Where are the signatures? How did they resign? Sheung, this speaks to who these people are, never doing anything right, and never. That's how they. That's how they
you were just a presidential candidate. You are not privy to the day-to-day administration of the party. Are you aware of what Rafosu have done up until now? Because this conversation has been going on for months.
I will tell you this, Sheung. Sometime late last year, I was approached by some friends and different people talking about the coalition. And eventually, they managed to get me into one meeting with some arrowheads of the coalition. And I had just two questions. One, if you seek to have a coalition against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, are you going to agree to have a Southerner lead this coalition so that 8 years of a Southern leadership is not truncated? And the answer was, we want to take our power back. So essentially what you're saying to me as a Southerner from Delta State, from Onchibu, from a natural local government area, is that you're telling me that as a Nigerian, I am not worthy, I'm not deserving to hold power and to hold office in this country. That power belongs to just a segment of this country. That anytime a Southerner holds office in this country, we must do something to truncate that leadership. That was a very demeaning and insulting statement, Sheung. And to think about that, in fact, in that room, that the people who were in that room were people who were part of the past administration who took Nigeria to its knees where we are today, Sheung, to the brink of collapse. What do you want me to say, Sheung? That because I'm desperate for power, I should say, okay, you know what? They want to remove Bola Ahmed Tinubu, power at all costs. Maybe they'll give me some position, and I should agree to something I know that is morally wrong, that's against everything I believe. Sheung, their generation stand for only two things: religion, region. That's all they stand for. We were born into it. Should we transmit this thing to our children so I will never speak to a country about meritocracy anymore? Is that who we should continue being in this country? A people who don't care about merit or anything. We should continue being divided along tribal or religious lines in this country. Is that who we are, Sheung? It's not about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's not about ADC. It's about the future of this country. And we don't need these people. We stand rejected, Sheung.
If I ask you, are you privy to the origin of the ADC?
Sheung, I will tell you this. ADC is a party. When they brought me into this party, I met the then chairman, Rafosu, and they told me that this party is a party that has ideals, all men being equal before the law, no north, no south, blah, 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 and all the stuff. Shortly after I entered the party, Sheung, people in the party drew my attention to the fact that this man has been the chairman of the party for the past 18 years. No democratic credentials. And how can you say that you want to advance democracy being in a party that has such credentials? I believe that it was something of the past, and that my being in that party, that we could move that party forward. But sad to say, immediately after he emerged as the presidential flag bearer of the party, the same thing that they had done to all previous presidential candidates, they did the same thing. They tried to sell my candidacy. They tried to frustrate me from running for office. They started writing and doing press release that I am no longer the presidential candidate of the party because I insisted that I must run for office, Sheung. This is the past of ADC. But Sheung, I tell you this, I met a lot of young Nigerians who had only one ambition. How do we move Nigeria forward? They came into the party in their droves to run for office, only to wake up one day to hear that the party had aligned with other parties and that the party had been sold. And that this party was really not.
What do you mean it has been sold?
That they are in the last election, that they had done some alignments with PDP or with APC, and as such, those people who had paid for funds to run on the platform ADC, they saw their ambition being truncated.
Let me ask you, Mr. Dumebi, are you privy to the relationship of Mr. Rafosu in the inception of this party and someone like the former VP, ATIKU Abubakar? Are you privy?
I have no knowledge of former VP ATIKU Abubakar's interest or his being part of the ADC. But Sheung, I'll tell you this.
That's because when you were not a member of the party, there were people who formed the party. And that's why I asked you about the origin of the party.
They formed the party. Let me ask you a question. How many Nigerians knew ADC before I entered into the ADC? I entered the ADC in a contest of 19 presidential candidates. I was a 5th in that election. That's why ADC became almost a household name, Sheung. I made that party a household name, Sheung. Not because Ralph Wonso had been chairman of that party for 18 years, doing nothing but selling forms, Sheung. Let's get real about this. I don't know Atiku's role in the ADC, and I don't care about his role in the ADC. What I care about
ADC is the Honorable Leke Abejide's party in Kogi State. And a lot of people know that that's a party that has one House of Reps member.
Exactly,
so
Sheung.
When you say you made it popular, Nigerians will want to wonder how.
Leke won House of Reps out of Kogi State. I ran for the office of president in Nigeria, Sheung. They are two very different things. You can ask Leke his impression of the Ralph Wonso led leadership of ADC. Sheung, we need to get real here. It's not about virality of videos. It's about speaking to the conscience of Nigerians and the future of Nigeria. Sheung, we cannot continue like this in this country. Watch that video, Sheung. 75% of those people were people above the age of 75. 70% of our youths are under 30. They are suffering. They are poor. They are all former people, former this, former that, who brought us to this point, Sheung. What are we talking about?
They say they are up to rescue Nigeria. Would you be joining them?
Sheung, they need to rescue us from themselves. We don't need rescuing from these people. They need to rescue us from themselves, Sheung.
They say that there's a problem.
You have a former Senate President who was Senate President for how many 10 years? Come on, Sheung. What else is he looking for? What else does he need to do? Let's get real about this, Sheung.
They say they know the solution.
They know nothing, Sheung. They know the problems that they created. They have no solution, Sheung. We need new faces. We need fresh ideas. We need fresh ideals in Nigeria.
What about experience?
Sheung, experience of failure? Experience of no leadership?
There's a Peter Obi
experience of no succession? Sheung, Obi was governor for 2 terms, Sheung. He was governor for 2 terms, Sheung. What's Anambra State today? Get real about this, Sheung. I'm not here for platitudes. I'm here to speak to the issue of our future in this country. These people have destroyed our country. We need to get away from these people. You need a coalition in Nigeria. Speak to the youth of Nigeria. Bring them together. Fresh faces, fresh voices, fresh ideals. Not these geriatrics. We don't need them anymore in this country. There's no way they will spin this, Sheung. I watched in the last election, the first outing of the PDP. Nigerians had waited, the party faithful had waited, and they waited for Atiku Abubakar to come and make his speech. And age, that's a man who's ordinarily a smart man. But age was telling. The same way we see age telling the president today. Sheung, please, Sheung, speak to your conscience. For how long do we continue like this with these people?
So how do you assess the present situation of the country? If you have tried, you came a distant 5th the last time. And there are people who will say, this platform you have, it could be used to better the lot of Nigerians. We have seen the failures of the past. We want to make Nigeria better for the future. Are you opposed to the tendency or to the ideals or the ideas of people fixing this country?
I'm opposed to virus and bacteria coming to my party. I'm opposed to people coming through the back door. I'm opposed to people who have destroyed Nigeria, say they're trying to fix Nigeria.
How else would they have come?
Sheung, let me tell you this. Anybody who was desirous of joining ADC in a proper manner ought to have known that Mosu's tenure had lapsed. They ought to have known that we have a neck within the party.
Who is the chairman of the party now?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. ADC has no chairman. ADC is the lacuna, is the vacuum. There's no chairman there.
Have you checked INEC correction?
We're talking about Nigeria, where 7% of government websites are non-functional and have obsolete information.
Because the standard to know what is going on in the political party. Just a moment, sir. The registrar And the regulator of every political party is INEC.
Correct.
And even the records of INEC, and it says Ralph Nwosu is the leader of the party. How would you oppose it?
Shemun, you can look at that information, you can say that is an updated information. But tell you what, to make things easy for all Nigerians, right? We shall be communicating with INEC. We shall ask INEC to make its position known concerning the leadership of ADC, so that all Nigerians can be clear. And I tell you this, Shemun, if INEC says that a man who led the party for 18 years, whose tenure lapsed 2 years ago or 3 years ago, is the chairman of the party, I will gracefully bow out of the party and I will cease speaking against this coalition. But I tell you this, Shemun, as things stand now, I and my fellow party members know that Ralph Nwosu is not the chairman of that party, has no business, has no mandate entering any coalition. And this is not a coalition, Shemun. When you speak about coalition of parties, we're talking about individuals who've come into the party, who seek membership of the party. And Shemun, there's nothing wrong. I mean, a party is free for all. Anybody can come into a party. There's nothing absolutely wrong. But the constitution of my party states clearly that for you to hold any office in that party, you have to be a member of that party for 2 years. There's been no convention to amend the constitution, no special convention to amend the constitution. How are these people? How they come and say, oh, well, I'm interim chairman, I'm interim secretary, and Mrapuntu announces that across board, all arms of the party, everyone has resigned. Shemun, that's just a fraudulent statement.
But there are members of your party, leaders actually, in wards, local government, and the state, that are now supporting the David Mark-led interim leadership.
Shemun, please speak to facts of what
it's been reported in the news.
What you see being reported when it said that in a state, in Kebbi State, that the chairman there said that they are aligned and the structure is intact. The same chairman there said the structure is intact, but we heard Nwosu saying that all structures have been dissolved. What do we believe?
What do you want to do now, Mr.
Shemun, what I'm saying today is this, that yes, in Nigeria, we have things going wrong in Nigeria. We have Herculean problems before us in Nigeria. And to solve these challenges, Shemun, we have two options before us. One is to say we are going to be held captive for the rest of our lives, or two is to say, you know what, we need fresh ideas, young blood, fresh people to come in and try and start salvaging this problem. But Shemun, and I will say this, Shemun, I am not a slave to any part of Nigeria. I heard David Mark say earlier today that this is a contest, this is an issue, a fight between the North and South. Sorry, David Mark, that's time, that game is up. Nobody's falling for that playbook anymore. Nigerians as a people now are united. We can never let you do divide and rule anymore. Suffering has no color, has no tribe, has no religion. Poverty has no tribe, poverty has no religion, Shemun. What we go through as Nigerians, it does not see tribe, religion, does not see north or south. Nigerians are united in their suffering, Shemun. There's no tribe, there's no religion there. David Mark and his ilk must understand that they've goofed there. They cannot bring this into the next elections. And ADC is a party that does not see tribe or religion. We see all Nigerians as equal before the flag, before our constitution.
Have you been reached by the powers that be?
When you say powers, what powers that be? You have all powers that be, considering the influence you have in Nigeria over the media and over Nigerians. I hope you know that you are one of the powers that be.
No, I'm asking you about the political powers that be, the ruling party, because that's the word on the street. That the only reason why you're agitating is because you are in bed with the ruling party.
You don't need to end that question. I will tell you that question is demeaning and is an insult. Anybody that knows my antecedents, right from student unionism, knows that there's absolutely nothing joining me with government of the day. I speak boldly for Nigerians. I speak for my conscience. I have 8 children, Shemun, who need to have a stake in this country, Shemun. They are the people I fight for. I fight for the common man I encounter every day. I'm not talking about these people who have no 9 to 5, who stay in their houses and watch channels and watch TVC and watch Arise TV and all they do is plan how to capture power. I'm talking about real life Nigerians that you encounter every day because you have a 9 to 5 job. I'm talking about their issues. They don't know their issues.
Do you have alternatives?
Do we have alternatives? Do I alternative in terms of what?
If you're saying that whatever they are doing now is not right, what would be your alternative?
Let me tell you what the alternative is. If we are truly desirous of solving our problems as a nation, we must stop yielding our platforms to these people. We must call them out for who they are. We know the antecedents, we know where they are coming from, we know the state of Nigeria today. Sheung, these guys have done us a disservice. We must not sugarcoat it. We must not do the right thing.
Do you have the ambition to run for president?
Sheung will tell you something. Once that bug bites you to do something about your country, to solve the problems of your country, it's not something that you give up like that.
So you are pained that you would have run again on the platform of ADC. Now that chance has been...
No, absolutely not.
Has been crushed.
She will tell you something. You know what? Let them come in through the front door. I relish a contest. I relish primaries with them. Let them come in through the front door. I relish going primaries with them. I relish selling my ideas to Nigerians side by side them. In the last election, Sheung, you saw what happened. They refused categorically, all of them, to stay on the same dice, the same platform with me to have a debate. But I relish the opportunity. They want to contest for the ticket of my party. Come in through the front door. I'll welcome you. Let us face the primaries. Let's tell Nigerians, tell us your solutions for the myriad problems we have as a people.
But
tell us the role you play.
You might be a drowned voice in all of this. If you're having your voice, if you're having your voice heard, but your way is not being yielded to, what would you do?
Sheung, let me tell you this. Before I came here today, after my press conference today, the number of people who reached me, the number of my party, I can show you messages telling me thank you, God bless you, for speaking for us. On Facebook, I see people speaking out on Twitter, asking what these old men are looking for. The number of people who reached me, Sheung, it's made my job well worth it. I must never yield to the temptation of saying that I am unpopular in voicing a popular position or a moral position.
Would you be going to the court?
Sheung, tell you what, all options are on the table. If INEC does not do what is right, what's tenable,